Hello, everybody. Doing some prepping for Starfinder. Hello, everybody. Doing some prepping for Starfinder. All right, and so what we're doing is we're looking at. I'm using these smaller modules. They're Starfinder Society Adventures, and so what that means is this is something you would normally go to a GameStop. I mean, not GameStop, a game store to play. Bring your own pre-made characters, uh, and similar to the D&D adventures, this is the same type of thing where you can just go and play over and over. No matter where you are, you can go into any place that has this organized play and use these specific guidelines to build your characters and things. And it's called the Starfinder Society. Um, Organized play. So they're short modules, and so we're looking to go with these. All right. Spousal unit came in right as I was starting here. So change the scale UI up a little bit so everything is bigger so you guys can see it a little easier if you're watching on the stream or if you're watching later. Uh, to do that, to make everything bigger, you go here and you go slash scale UI altogether one word between 50 and 100. I mean 50 and 200. Um, I normally have it at 85 or 90 depending on which one I'm feeling when I'm game mastering. I need as much real estate as I can get. But when I stream, I put it up to 110, so it's much bigger as you can see. So what I was saying is I'm using these shorter. They're supposed to be one shots, typically 2 to 4 hours, shorter things. So I'm going through them relatively quickly, even though we are on. Hey, Atomic Hero Squad, welcome, welcome. I have my stream covered. Atomic was doing some Disney Speedstorm because of the new season and stuff that's come out with the new movie. So Lilo and Stitch stuff. Appreciate you stopping by. Make sure you check him out Monday through Friday. So you go here to activation. I was going to take a look real quick and see what my. So we are only. I change it every time. So in finding stars, you can go to the using the tubes, and you can search Spencer 77, finding stars, and you'll see. So these are the SFS. So we're going to go search by name, SFS. Boom. So these are the ones that I have. We've gone through 1, 2 already. The Commencement and the Fugitive on the Red Planet. We're now in the middle of Yesteryear's Truth. I wanted to make sure I had several more. Didn't remember having these rest of these. So we also have Cries from the Drift, The First Mandate, A Night in Night Arc, and The Solar Sortie. So each one takes about 3, sometimes 4 sessions. The way we are playing, we're only an hour and a half to begin with. That's assuming that everybody is on time and ready to go, and there's not a lot of hemming and hawing. So typically we play for just over an hour. So these take anywhere from 3 to 4 hours to play. And so I do have that one ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and load the 4th one. All right. So I was going to go ahead and add some more, just since I was planning on doing this anyway. Let's go to a couple different ways of doing it. You can click on Store. And what that does is it brings up the Fantasy Ground website. And you search by title, SFS. Let's see if that works. I'm not sure what some of these are. Here's Starfinder Society 113. So we want the ones we have, as I mentioned already, go from coming down here just so we have one, because there are different years, different seasons of the Starfinder Society. I think right now they're on 6 or 7. I don't remember exactly which one we're on, but anyway, so here's 113. We're looking for 1-8. Let's see if I can just do SFS 1-08. No, okay. See if we can do SFS 1. Nope. All right, so we'll go back to SFS. SFS. So here's 4. At least we know they're up to season 4. 2, 8. Here it is. So then once you find the one you want, if you want to read about it, as you can see, these are the ones I already own. So it already tells you. You don't accidentally buying things you already have. You'll also notice that this is a totally different look. Season 4. This one is season 2, so these are green. These are season 1, so they're blue like the rest of the season 1s. Um, all the greens. So you find the one you want, stick it in your cart, and the rest is just like any other thing that you buy from Starfinder. So you go here to the cart. We will confirm it. So I know you know how to do this part. I'm showing you once it's purchased what to do, and it's actually very simple. Two-factor authentication. I mean. There you go. So it's all done. It's ready to go. So I can now close this. And for anything you buy from Fantasy Grounds itself, it's actually very simple. Next time you go here to, let me show you here. Next time I come in here and start it, this will be lit up. See how it's lit up? I can't do it right now because I already have Fantasy Grounds running, but if I didn't, I would just click update and it would automatically edit. Just like that. If you buy it from, say, DM's Guild or something like that, there's a couple extra steps you have to take. So, but it's just that simple, just that easy. I will now have 8 when I'm ready for it. So, like I said, we're in 3. So we're going to go ahead and here's the story. Here's the story. This is our soundboards. So the concept of this one is that there was a planet that was found and it was habitable. They scanned it, but then there was some radiation, as if technology had been there at some point. And so when they got closer to take more scans, they were attacked. Well, the ship wasn't made to be a combat ship, so it took off and left. They sent messages back, and now they've sent the group to go check it out. What's there? And so they got here, they got to the planet, and they were attacked by these automated drone, this automated planet system. And so it looked very old and very outdated and ancient, but still worked. So they now have landed on the planet. They found, well, actually, going back a minute, they scanned the planet and found one city that was habitable, people, habited, I should say. But it was covered by this dome as they went and got close to try to land on it. It was covered by this force field, so they had to land outside the dome. They got there, and now, as they were working toward the city, they were attacked by this creature. So that's where they stand right now. Taking a look at our party sheet, we're all level 2. Nikos is a little hurt. All of his stamina is gone. He's down to 11 out of 20 of his hit points. Alright, we're still a ways from level 3. Now, I'm just looking to see, do I want to augment what's here in these mini adventures to get them up a little faster? Give them a little extra experience. Or do I want to keep it the way it is? They just turned level 2 before the start of this series. So, I'm probably just going to keep it. turn my fan up a little bit, a little warm in here. So you can see I bumped him up to get him up to level 2. I made him go a little faster. So, um, so they're here on the planet. So this is the adventure outline. It tells you what happens all through here. This is the story, and this is all the different things of this quick little adventure. The downside of these Starfinder Society adventures, and it's the same thing with the D&D adventures, is that there's you're pretty much forced to stay within the storyline that they are provided. Otherwise, if the DM is adding a lot of extra stuff, then it's not consistent throughout all of the Starfinder Society play groups. And therefore, if I go in and my character is higher level or bumped up or has all these extra gear because my game master was nice and added all this extra things, it's not fair to the people who've been playing it the way it's written. So, having said that, this is not officially Starfinder Society. These guys don't have the Paizo identifications. They haven't signed in. They aren't even aware of what I'm talking about. So I have more leeway than the average if you were to go into a mall or a game store and jump down and start playing these Starfinder Societies. So let's take a look. We have 5 players. They're level 2s. This is for level 1 or 2, depending on the group. Alright, so they've already landed on this. I've done a bunch of stuff already. I've added some art for the planet. I added art for the drone. I made art for them and the drone platform. I made art for that as well. Let me make sure they got this. See, it says if they fail, then they lose some of their stuff. Okay, so they did get this. They got the credits. Okay, counter B. So here is the current encounter they're in. They're fighting this. Again, this is a creature, the Sand Brute. Didn't have any art at all, so I made the art for that. And if you look at it like this, it's our group, the 2D mode, which I really like now that Fantasy Ground has really capitalized on using the tokens and stuff. These are all to scale. Monster maybe not so much, but all the characters are. So this panda guy is almost twice the size as the dwarf because he's a living uplifted bear. Anyway, so this is the fight they're in right now. You can see why he's hurt so much because he's the only one fighting it. Everybody else is running away, staying far away, and just shooting him. And he's almost dead. He's heavily wounded. So my question was, did I want to add another one of these? I'm thinking I am going to add another one. Come and jump in. As well as the help from the race that's here. So it says if more than half of them are knocked unconscious by the Sand Brute, the Jabrani hunting party can appear and save them. So here's the Jabrani hunting party. Here's the person who's leading them. So the Jabrani as a race have two different um, forms. One is the husk, and I forget what the other one, enlightened or something like that. Uh, so the people who live outside the bubble have morphed into these husks, and the people who live inside the bubble live a more pampered lifestyle, and they look different as well. So this is, they're called membranes. So it's a Jabrani. That's what the one inside the dome look like. I don't know if the Jabrani are a playable race or not. Now, let's find out. I'm curious now. Race. Doesn't look like it. Nope. Okay. Just wondering. The only other place they might be is Archives of Nethys, which is the home for everything Paizo. Jabrani. Okay. So I guess this is the 13th gate. Be like humanoid so you can play Jabrani. I'm just wondering why it's saying it's Starfinder number 5, the 13th gate. 13th gate is not what we're playing right now. Interesting. I wonder, I don't know what that is. Does it give me more information? Dead Suns. I was right. It is Starfinder. I don't remember this being part of the Jabrani being in that at all. Oh, okay. I see what happened. So they weren't part of the, because I've done this. I'm actually running it 2 more times. I've got two. I've got one just started, and a second one of the Dead Suns that I'm going to be starting here. So I'm very familiar with this, the 13th gate. And this, the thing I'm talking about, the Starfinder Society, came out about the same time as that adventure path. So they added it there for people who wanted to play it. Okay. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. Let's focus. All right, so if we're going to add another one, let's go back to our, see, here's our fight. This is what we've got. This is a Sand Brute Alpha, so we're going to add a Sand Brute. To the encounter. So since we've already added this one to the combat tracker, I'm not going to, I wouldn't re-add this to the combat tracker, but what I'm going to do, let's open the combat tracker. I'm going to add it to this encounter, make sure it's unlocked. It is. So that we can then get the experience for them. This also updates upgrades the tokens, which is perfect. And then we're going to pull and add him to the combat tracker right here. Boom. So his hit points are only 40, whereas his are 70. Because he's an alpha and he is not. So there's a couple minor changes. He's a CR3, he's a CR5. So they have his perception is lower. They have lower armor class, lower saves. Their damage is not as much. 1d6 plus 7 instead of 1d6 plus 10. They both have the roar, but even their skills are lower. So, it's a little smaller. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up the map. So since I don't have the map down here, what I'm going to do is double click on the alpha and that will open up the map wherever that token is. We're going to change it back to the top-down view, and we're going to add this guy. Do they know what he is? Yes, they do. So we're just going to delete all this stuff. Leave it at Sambrute Alpha. So we're going to add this guy to the map. He came up from here and moved up. So I'm going to have him come up from there. We'll have him come from over here on this side. And then we'll check our party sheet. I'm going to minimize this. Check the party sheet. See if the... Alright, we're going to go ahead and get rid of some of these... right here, edit the list. We're going to get rid of these ones from last time. And then add this. All right. So make sure that the new encounter total is in there. Boom. So there's actually a level 6 encounter. They're tough. They can handle it. They also get chat rewards. So if you want to come back and watch this tomorrow night, you can do and see the and help out my monsters or help out the group. All right, I think I'm going to put him a little bit further back. There you go. And here's the I linked the story to it. I thought I linked the creatures as well. All right, so there we go. All right, so now we move on to help from the Jabranis to the Jabrani hunting party. So during their fight, several Jabrani watch the conflict from the edge of the bluffs. The PC's defeat of the Sand Brutes impresses them, or if they fail, then it will draw their curiosity and aid the Jabrani's curiosity. They've never seen people like the PCs before and don't know what to expect. The hunters are clearly armed, though with some strange arquebus-style weapons that incorporate slightly dated energy weapon magazines. They're not pointing the weapon to the PCs. If they succeed at a sense motive, but they're not, they can see that they're not hostile. Hopefully, they will holster their weapons and show their empty hands. The leader of the hunting party shouts a greeting. A PC who succeeds at a DC 18 culture recognizes language is similar to the one transmitted by the orbital drone. Make sure I have Jabron. I do. See, and what I'll do is I'll type it here. See, and so it's cool because the chat will know what it says, but the players won't. The players will just see this till they learn the language, or they also have this archaic translator bot with them that if it stays with them for an hour, they can then communicate the basic commands and thoughts. So we'll see if they use that. She holds up one of her hands and lowers the head to show the flat of her twin mandibles. Straps her rifle to her back. Approaches them. Alright, so they can try to communicate with them. Just talks about how they can communicate. And then she'll gesture for them to follow her. Come on. If they fail at their diplomacy checks, they'll just walk away, but it doesn't stop them from following. None of my people have the share language spells. Gotta drink some Dubby. Check it out. It's very tasty. The best energy drink I've ever had, which is surprising. I've had a lot of energy drinks. This is a powder. Great tasting. End up being about 50 cents for one of these. Check them out. Dubby. And you can follow the link there. Get a 10% discount when you check out by using Spencer77. Or just follow the link and you don't have to worry about trying to remember codes and stuff. Good stuff. Anyway, so they come and they use magic. They still have to do it. If they try to attack them, they will retreat. As long as combat doesn't erupt, you can go to the Husk Enclave. Alright, so. Tribe of Husk jabronis live within a network of caves adjacent to the bluffs. The opposite direction of the city. A married couple known as Brother Cosimo and Sister Alamayer leads the colony. Alright, so I'm trying to look and see if they have. Let's see if there are NPC jabronis, because I want to have that first encounter play out as if it was a fight. My players don't fight anything unless they really have to. So I'm not worried about it becoming. Alright, Jabrani's guard bots. Advanced Jabrani guard bots. Wow, they don't have Jabrani NPCs. Interesting. That's not what I expected. Okay, so let's see if I can remember what I'm supposed to do. This is not a predator. This is a going to my Galaxy Exploration Manual. Nope. Is it interstellar species? Oh, I'm not finding the thing I'm looking for. There's a thing where that gives me the ability to make like different graphs of, say, like a predator. Let's just look for that. Let's go to okay. It's not in NPCs then, it's something else. So I'm this is Starfinder Protocol. I'm under. Go back to all. There we go. Starfinder Alien Archive 2. Okay. So I want Alien Archive 2. Because these aren't predators, so I want to see what other options we have. Alien Archive 2. We have our uplifted bears, our bolitas, our dinosaurs. Okay, we don't need dinosaurs. Golems. Herd animal. This is what I'm looking for. Just a generic type of creature. But I'm not, I'm looking for These are predators. I'm just looking to see what options I have. I'm not familiar with what they give you. Robots, they're definitely not robots. Vermin, they're not vermin. Alright, so what I'm going to do then is I'm just going to go with go back to all. I'm going to find a NPC that's somewhat close to this. I want them to be like a CR half. I think the Demai are close. Sure, this will work. So they have, I'm just looking for their, they have a survival knife and a tactical semi-auto pistol. Let's see if I can find a race that has like a laser gun. Actually, here, gang tough. That should have. Nope, it's a semi-automatic pistol again. Space goblins have lasers. Okay. Formians are also insects, so that might work. Let's see. They have a bite and a flare gun. Sure, this will work. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to take this, going to go into my assets, see what I have for Jabrani tokens. Actually, we're just going to go all. See what I have for Jabrani. Alright, so I do have a Jabrani. Let's see, 13th gate. Yes, year's truth. Aha. This is a peak spoiler warning for what we're going to be seeing. Yesteryear's truth. This is them. All right, so here's this one. We want these. So since we don't have these tokens, what we're going to do is we're going to pop it open. We're going to make a snip. We're just making a token, so the rest of it doesn't matter. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and do the whole thing. Let's do a new one. Because I'm going to make a 2D version. May as well. Because it's fun. So here's the 2D version. We will save it. We're going to save it in downloads as Jabrani model. Then we go to pixlr.com, Pixlr.com. And they have a really nice remove background. Select the photo, the Jabrani model. Oof, you see, there you go. It's all done. Looks like it's one little thing. Let me see if it's worth it. I don't really care that much. But I'll go ahead and just, we want to remove. want it to be about 5 if I can. There we go. We'll zoom in a little bit more and just. All right, so there we go. Close enough. So now we are applying it, and then we save. It saves it as a PNG file. Now I go here to rolladvantage.com, the token stamp side of it, as opposed to the dice roller. I'm going to go here, drag image to start. So we choose the image, Jabrani model, which is the PNG. Actually, we're not going to use it. I'm going to use a JPEG because it has the background, the white background, and I'm fine with the white background. So. And then we will keep with the tan border. That's fine. You can change what the border looks like. You can change what the color of the border. If I wasn't using the white, I could change the background. So now we download it. Download becomes token 1. So we're done. We're going to go here to the download folder. We'll close our website. Token 1 is now going to be, click it twice to rename it. Keep the word token there and go to Jabrani token. And now I take the Jabrani token, delete it, Control X, go to Fancy Grounds, Tokens, Control V, paste it. Why didn't it paste? What is happening? Downloads. Oh, that's why it messed up. All right. Jabrani token. Now we got it correctly deleted. Fancy Grounds, Tokens, Control V. Boom. There's our token down here. And then we go back to downloads. That one is gone. So we want the PNG. Delete it. Fancy Ground. Now this is one we will use. Maybe someone will. Actually, I don't think anybody will use the race. And it's not in my late race list. So never mind. We're going to go to campaigns. I'm going to go to, this is Finding Stars. Images. You can see these are all the images I've made for this campaign. All right, now we close this. We go to Assets and we refresh. So now we have our token. We now have our model. So we're going to now take our Formian worker, which we're going to use. Close. We're going to copy him, drag him a little bit, and let go. So it makes a copy. We're going to open him up, and we're going to say, unlock him, make him a Jabrani husk. Then we're going to go to pictures. And delete this one. We're going to add the picture here, the 2D token here, and the flat token there. Go back to main. leave all this in. Except we're going to change this from a survival, oops, Control Z, from a survival flare gun to just a flare gun. To just a gun. I'm going to remind myself what it is they said it was. It was called Strange Arquebus style weapons that incorporate slightly dated energy weapon magazines. Alright, so I'm just going to say arquebus gun. I want to remind myself exactly what that is. Ancient muzzle loading firearm. Okay. But they use energy magazines. Alright, so it's just a long gun. Okay, cool. Musket. I'm just going to call it a musket. Because why confuse everybody? I'm going to change it to a musket. It's a musket energy gun. And change this here. I'm going to put enter. And change this to something that can be shared by hitting Control 3. And now I can click this and it'll go right here. Alright, so now we have jabroni husks. We can close this. Open up the combat tracker. One. Several. So we're going to say... no, we're going to say 1d4 plus 2. Alright, so 4 of them. 2, 3, and then one of them is going to be four. One of those 4, number 2, is going to be our girl. So here's this. They're going to be called beetle people. A beetle person. So we open this back up and we go unidentified is beetle person. So if I ever add any more to the combat tracker, it'll automatically add them as beetle person. Second one is going to be but she's going to be Dicestone. Dicestone. Okay. Go back. And last is this guy. All right, we're now going to add skip turn on them, so it'll skip them in the combat tracker automatically. What? I don't have skip turn in here? What kind of... Well, that's easy enough to do. Okay, except it's not for one round. This is forever. Alright, so... Fetal person. Fetal person. Fetal person. So they won't even, my players won't even know they're there until I'm ready to show them. They're also not evil. They're going to be neutral. All right. Last thing we need to do is put them on the map. And the easy way to do that, since they're all yellow, is I can take. So they were watching them. So I'm going to put them and drag them over to about here. And I put them. I'm going to re-drag them into squares. There we go. I'm actually going to put them one square higher. There we go. So when the fight is over, they will appear and start walking toward them. Who is the one in front? She's the one in front, so we'll switch them. All right, now you make them unidentified again. Boom. Okay, and then what I want to do is I want to link the new image or the old image, doesn't matter. So we'll take this on and link this, drag it right there, boom. So all I have to do is open this up and I can just share it right from there. So I don't have to dig for it and find it. All right, so that takes care of the hunting party. So once that's played out, so they'll finish the combat, they'll role play with this new group, and then we'll have this happen. Let's see. Doesn't it be like aliens crawl in and out of the many caves that dot the face of its otherwise drab cliff? Most of them are dressed in simple leather frocks. Small garden filled with sickly plants is visible off to the side. Next to it looked like the opening to a well. A handful of children sit in front of a pair of older aliens who are both wearing bright colored necklaces. They appear to be either telling the young ones a story or teaching them a lesson. I'm going to teach you a lesson. I don't think that's what they mean. Um, let's get a quote, shall we? Drake takes who I'm playing with tonight. Fallout. Looking forward to it. Mentioned my quotes. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this. Unlock, so I had to unlock it. And I'm going to go to my Copilot.
Do you have
Oh, so I don't know how long I've been muted. Sorry, guys. Uh, so I was looking for the stones. I wanted the stones to be a little bit more, less looking like bricks. So I had them redraw it. And now I'm continuing from this. So draw the inside of the cliff. So it'll use the same general tone of and color of these rocks as a spacious cave with plenty of natural handholds. So we'll see if it works. We'll see what it comes up with. While it's doing that, we'll finish this. PC, sit back and watch, or join in on this. So they're supposed to be joining the welcoming, which is a ritual from the hunting party that comes back. Shortly after the welcoming ceremony, another Germani steps into firelight. She's thinner than the others, dressed in shimmering fabrics. Though it's clear she has a few bandaged wounds. Most strikingly, she sports a pair of membranous wings, unlike any of the other ones. And that is her. Boom. Alright, so we're not going to get past this point, so I am good to go for tonight. Let's take a look and see how our cave has turned out. Alright, we need to lighten the picture. Weird, he normally doesn't get rid of them like that. Overall, it's a pretty decent job of what I wanted. We're going to go back here into our assets. We're going to go tier 2 refresh. So now we have the Jabroni Cliff. We're going to go back to our cliff, the Husk Enclave. We have the description, and then we have, you click on it, and then you say create map record. There we go. And we're going to make it unidentified. Beetle. Cliff home. And then we make sure this is unidentified. Log it again. And we're going to go ahead and just change the name of it because I want it to be the same name as the unidentified version. There we go. And we Beetle People Cliff Home. There we go. See how our co-pilot's doing. There we go. This is the original one. Very dark. Not easy to see. This one's much lighter and easier to see. And we'll do the same thing. You go back to the folder. We're done with this. We're going to close it. And we're going to go to Jabroni Cave. We will then control X. Finding stars, images, Jabroni cave. We're going to do the same thing we did before. We're going to go here, go to assets, refresh. By the way, every time you do that, you'll see in the chat folder assets refreshed. And there's our picture. Open it, click on it, create map record. Beetle, people, cave. Make it unidentified. Lock it. You can zoom in. Interior of the cave. So here we're talking about this. So I'm also going to make this shareable. Control 3. Grab the drag record link and drop it right in. Boom. Alright, so now we have more art to add to our story, give our people a little bit more oomph. We've made the Jabroni husks, who are part of the welcoming party that come to meet them. Hunting party. They're going to so we're all set and ready to go. I'm going to open these back up so they're there when I come back. And we're going to switch this back down to 85. All right, so that, my friends, is it for today. I'm going to be about 45 minutes. 6 o'clock we'll be on Drake Takes channel. Drake Take, all together one word, not Drake Takes. So come back. You'll also, if you come back here to Spencer77, you can then follow, because I should have it showing on my stream. Or if not, down below it'll say suggested by Spencer. So check them out. Because I'll be playing. We're playing the Fallout role-playing game, not the board game which I own, not the video game, but the role-playing game. So come check them out. And then come back tomorrow, Sunday night, and every Sunday night for Starfinder on my channel right here. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and whatever else you do. Enjoy the rest of your day.